thousands of people that was following him, well, he decided to turn to his disciples to give them some words of wisdom. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him and opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. Ye are the light of the world. A city is set on a hill, cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. You may be seated. This morning, I'm going to focus just for a few minutes on the 13th verse. It says, you are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden down underfoot of men. My subject this morning, and what I want you to take away from me, is pass the salt. Can you say that? Pass the salt. This chapter, again, is the beginning of the great Sermon on the Mount, the greatest sermon ever given. Jesus is explaining to his disciples what they need to do to be happy and blessed. Now, we all recognize salt. We have it at home. But salt needs to be considered just a little bit more. To effectively describe salt, consider these things. Good salt is white and small and broken into many grains, but very useful and necessary. We've got all kinds of salt. Garlic salt, celery salt, Epsom salt. Look up in your cabinet, you got all kinds of salt up in there. But salt is a mineral that is used all over the world. It is used for many things, a preservative. It enhances flavors. And salt dissolves easily in water, which is essential for us to remember. We use salt for feet. We have feet problems. We put it in salt. We gargle with it. Some people use it to manage diabetes, for sore throats, for canker sores. We use it to kill bacteria, for ingrown toenails. You name it, we use it. We use it for colds. And salt is used as a preserver. It keeps food bacteria from growing. Amen. You know, back then, Mom and them, before we had all of these different kind of flavored salts, Mom and them used to take salt and cure the ham. Y'all ever heard of a cured ham? Where they take the salt, and we got a juice of ham, we're going to cure it in some salt. Well, you know what? That was preserving that meat. Now, I wanted to talk about this because we're going into a time of Thanksgiving. And I heard a comedian say, you may have Thanksgiving over here where they're having green bean casserole and a little bit of tossed salad and some fried chicken maybe, or some grilled chicken. But when you go to Mom and them have baked chicken, roast chicken, fried chicken, cured ham, sliced ham, honey baked ham. They have all your roast beef, and don't forget they have oxtails. They got everything we want. They have turkey. They have it baked. They have it smoked. They have turkey breast. Then that's just the meat. Mom and them have greens, cabbages. They got all of Brussels sprouts, mac and cheese, Mexican style, Mexican mac and cheese with seafood in it now. Then that's just a few of the sides. Then I talk about what they have, sweet potatoes and sweet potato pie, and sweet potato casserole and sweet potato yams. Mom and them have a whole lot of food. Okay. My point is, in all of that food, it was seasoned with some kind of salt. It was seasoned with some kind of salt. But you know what? When you sit down to the table, even though you know that food was already seasoned with salt, what is somebody going to say? Can you pass me the salt? Can you pass me the salt? They didn't even touch the food. They didn't even try it. Some people go into a restaurant before they can sit down. Where's the salt shaker? Where's the salt shaker? Am I right? They ask for salt even before they taste it and see if it's a wonderful thing or not. You know what our children do in school? They ain't got no salt for this food. Where's the salt? Because we've taught them in our society that in order for food to be good and to have flavor, it needs salt. And the food is already salted. All the food we put in our bodies right now is already salted. If you get too much of it, then you're going to have the problems that come with salt. High blood pressure, diabetes. All of that can be a byproduct of salt. But there are some wonderful uses for salt. Did you know that in the Bible, the word salt is used over 40 times, according to my concordance? It's over 40 times. It frequently speaks of the importance of salt in our ancestors' daily lives. Historically, we must remember that salt was a precious commodity in the Bible. People take a gift to their home on salt. But you know, when we talk about salt in the Bible, most people, sinners and not, know one story. That's the story of Lot. Everybody know Lot got turned to salt. Well, I'm going to go to Genesis, the 19th chapter, and just read a couple of verses. First, Genesis 19:1. And there came two angels to Sodom at Eden. And Lot sat down at the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, talking about the angels that Christ had sent to the city of Sodom. He bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And in verse 17, it says, and it came to pass, when they had brought them forth, that he said, escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. Then the Lord rained down on Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the city and that which grew upon the ground. Now here's the clincher, the 26th verse. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Now you say, if salt is such a good thing, why did the Lord change her into a pillar of salt? Well, you need to know that because if you don't use salt appropriately, you can have a heart of stone. Your heart can be hardened. And that's what happened to Lot. What happened to Lottie Mae had something back that she wanted to see. So she started looking back to see what she left. Maybe she started having the feeling of saying, oh, I'm leaving my home. All my friends, my clothes, my new shoes. I didn't want to leave them. Let me just look back and see how it's done. And in that instant, she was turned to a pillar of salt. As Christians, we are the salt. We are the salt. If you do like Lot and turn around and look in the opposite direction, trust me, there's going to be a consequence. Say, we are the salt. We are the salt. Salt was a symbol of permanence in biblical times. Salt was used as currency. Have you heard the old expression, a man is worth his weight in salt? Or have you heard him say, he's not worth the weight in salt? That came from biblical times because they used salt as currency. Salt in the Bible also symbolized a covenant of loyalty. In Numbers 18 and 19, it says, all the heave offerings of the holy things, which the children of Israel offered unto the Lord, have I given thee, and thy sons and thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt, forever before the Lord, unto thee and to thy seed with thee. Salt in the Bible also symbolizes wisdom and divine grace. If you go to Colossians, the 4th chapter and the 6th verse, it says, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how ye ought to answer every man. And even then, salt symbolized the permanence and purity of God's covenant. If you go to Leviticus, the 2nd chapter and the 13th verse, it says, and every oblation of thy meat offering shall thou season with salt. Neither shall thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be lacking from the meat offering. With all thine offerings thou shalt offer salt. When Jesus calls on his disciples, in the 13th verse, he is emphasizing the role of preserving moral, spiritual, and Christian values. Jesus says Christians are to call and to enhance the world around them with the distinct flavor of Jesus' teaching, of Christ's teaching. That's the salt that we put out there. This empowers a believer, giving them a sense of purpose and responsibility in their interactions. Ye are the salt. Put your hand on yourself and say, I am salt. My question to you today is, will you pass the salt? Will you pass the salt? The doctrine of salt tells about the good things that Christians should do. You should give unwavering friendship. You should love those who don't love you. But you say, how do I pass the salt when I got somebody that's got too much on them already? Now, recently I went to a restaurant and I wanted to get oxtails. Love them, don't eat them. But, you know, I have to travel a little distance in each side of town to go get oxtails. So we go into the restaurant, I get my plate and everything, my oxtails. I get home and sit down and, Lord, I'm ready for them. I bite in them and it tastes like Lot's wife is in them oxtails. I'm like, oh my God, I can't eat these. Because somebody had put too much salt in them. I say that to say, you can't beat people over the head about religion. Just a little bit of do it. Just a little bit of do it. And it doesn't have to come from your mouth. They can see what you do every day. The salt is in you, and you are sprinkling it a little bit as you go along. It will season your life and season the life of people around you. People don't have to be there for you to season their life. Salt is good coming out of wherever you give it. Give the word. Tell people good things. It's so much hate in our world today. People need good news. You and me, we're the salt of the earth. We should be giving good news to people. Oh, people are losing their jobs. No food. Talk about the good things. But you know what? God's still in charge. He's still in charge. He's still going to make a way out of no way for you. But you know what you got to do? You got to believe. You got to believe. That's your job. In practical terms, being the salt of the earth might mean speaking words of hope and encouragement to those who are struggling. It might mean standing firm for justice and truth in our workplaces and in our communities. It might mean living with integrity, even when it feels like it's costing you something. Live with integrity. Nobody can take integrity from you. That's yours. Showing Christ's love to those who are different from us. Preserving and passing on the faith to younger generations. I was so pleased yesterday as I was joined with so many people from Solid Rock to pass on the salt to younger generations. They did not have to be there, but we sprinkled a little bit of salt everywhere we went. And that was a great thing to do. So we're passing the salt. We don't have to be there beating people over the head with it. We're doing it. It might mean showing Christ's love to those in a different way. Sometimes we have to meet people where they are. When people are hungry, give them food before you try and give them the word. Give them food so they can understand and absorb. A person hungry can't get it. All they thinking about is their gut. They're hungry. They can't get it. Once you feed them, then you can sprinkle a little bit of salt on it. Okay? Being agents of reconciliation in a divine world. It's so much hate. This side hate this one. This one hate this one. You see kids hating each other. We got to make a difference. We got to find a way to pull that together. That's the salt that we're spreading around the world. I didn't want to keep you long this morning, but I wanted you to understand that you are the salt. You pass the salt. When you leave here today, I'm asking you to pass the salt to somebody, to tell them how we pass the salt. We are God's children. We are the light of the world. We are the ones that pass the salt. And in conclusion, I'm going to read from the Message Bible because I think it sums up this message in a few words. Let me tell you why you are here. You're here to be salt seasoning that brings out God's flavor to this earth. If you lose your saltiness, how will people taste godliness? You've lost your usefulness and will end up in the garbage or like Lot's wife. Okay? Here's another way to put it. You're here to bring light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. If I make you light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? I ain't putting you on a light stand. Now that I've put you there on the hilltop, on the light stand, shine. Keep open house. Be generous with your lives. By opening up to others, you'll prompt people to open up with God. This generous Father in heaven did that for us. It is our job to do that for him by giving some other people some salt. Not say, pass the salt. May the Lord bless you today and keep you in his care.